year, same Tyranno. Tyrannomon being the original Digimon, the original mascot, it needs some more love. I love Tyrannomon. It's one of my favorite lines. I know it's a big fan favorite, so let's hope this coming year that Tyranno gets just that support it deserves. Because the deck does struggle at times. It can go off, it can do its thing, it can be fun, but it's got some struggles. So to kick things off, we're playing for the BT6 Pinamon. We need to draw cards, we need to get through the deck because there's not really a whole lot of searching that you can do for archetype at all for this. There's none. So anything that can draw cards, plus it goes with the game strategy anyways. Since we have ways to give piercing as well as a couple effects that when they just delete something, we'll trash a card anyways. So, and then going on to our level 3s now, just playing one Kunamon. If you're going first and you see it, it's, not the worst to hatch and evolve something in the back. Play a Kunamon, rest it, look at the top 3, add a green card to hand, and then the following turn just throw it in security. That's pretty much what I use it for, or an emergency Evo, if, you mulligan poorly, but the rest of your hand is kind of okay. And then a 2 Pomumon, because they are pretty much mandatory for this format. So many things play via effect anymore, with top decks like D-Brigade, Fenry. There's more of it coming down the line, so Pomu to block effects is just such an important card. Going on to our next level 3, playing 3 Kokua from BT10, just the inheritable. When this Digimon leaves sometimes Digimon in battle, gain a memory. It works with the deck, kind of a board control kind of deck, and to gain some memory. And for the last of our 10 level 3s, because that's all we're running, is for the BT14 Palmon. The inheritable is great with how high costed the Evos are for Tyranno. In the start of turn, you can promote out and then navigate your way to some suspend effects to gain the memory. Well, make them lose memory, so there is a slight difference, because it will work on their memory blockers. Now for our level 4s, playing 3 of the BT11 Tyrannomon. The on-play, when digivolving, you may play a tamer card with a play cost of either less from your hand without paying the cost. If you're going second, you have some stuff that you'd rather hold on to and kind of build up to, just playing this guy out past your opponent for 3, drop a Taiga. Not that bad. Or the Evo, to just play a Taiga. Still pretty good. The only issue is, like I said, Tyranno is very overcosted with its Evos, but the inheritable giving you DP, great for getting over bodies and security checks, which is what this deck really needs to do. And then 3 BT14 Tyrannomon. Reason for this one, if you Evo in the back, promote it out, you give your stack that's reduced evolution cost for the turn, and then the end of turn inheritable, if it's a Tyrannomon or Dinosaur trade or Ceratopian, it may attack, so you can start getting things off that way. Maybe you had enough to Evo into a Rust of some kind. He had like 2 memory, pass your opponent over to one with a Dimension Scissors, which we'll explain why later, and then just get to attacking and going. Assuming you also have the Kokua sources. And then the final level 4 is the BT14 Pokemon. It does green vegetation thing. It suspends itself via effect to get to play a tamer for a reduced cost. So it's pretty nice, promoting out, going into this for 2, he had 0, spend something, choke your opponent. I wanted to play a Mimi so that you got your mem setter. And then that ever important reduction of evolution cost, inheritable. Right. Now for the level 5s, playing 2 Master Tyrannomon. It's got the Tyrannomon name, which helps synergize with Taiga. It can get to okay numbers, at least ones that can safely check them on the board. The security attack plus effect is nice, and the security attack inheritable is nice, especially with the Pearsons. And then our main bread and butter, of course, is going to be the BT11 Metal Tyrannomon at a full set for when Digivolving on play. For each green or black tamer you have in play, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then one of your opponent's suspended Digimon can suspend. Gives you a little bit of stall with your board control, lets you set up with some things. And then the inheritable Digimon leaves some fun Digimon in battle, trash the top card of their security. And then for our final level 5, and one that I would like to play more, is the Lilymon Ace. Mostly because it helps synergize more with the Tyrannomons, but it's also just an incredibly strong board piece. In all honesty, I probably would cut the Master Tyrannomons, just give up the extra security checks for the Lily Ace, because it gives you tempo on your opponent's turn, and it's a lower evolution cost. Alright, so for the level 6s, for the RustTyrannomon, we're playing essentially 2 of each of them. We're playing 2 of the BT2, 2 of the BT11, and 2 of the Rust Ace. Honestly, this is totally because I only have 2 of the Rust Ace, I will be honest about that. So what I would actually rather be doing is a ratio of 1 of the BT2, 1 of the BT11, and then a full set of the Ace. But even at this ratio, it's still fine because they each serve different purpose. Rust Ace is just nicer because you can suspend a whole lot when you Evo into it on your opponent's turn via the blast mechanic. The BT11 one has a reduced cost and can unsuspend itself at least once a turn or it can unsuspend itself once a turn when it crashes over something. And then the RustTyranno from BT2 has your turn when this Digimon deletes one of your opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, helps with the suspending portion, and then it can attack into unsuspended. If you have a green tamer, which all the tamers are green, so why not? But just Ace is so much better. Having the tempo on your opponent's turn, the ability to set up on your turn, and then the additional security trashing when it deletes something. And then of course it is a green deck, so we are playing 1 Quartzmon. Quartzmon per game is a possibility with different things, especially with how go wide decks are right now. Now going into our tamers, playing 2 of the memory setter Mimi. It sets the memory to 3, so having the guaranteed 3 helps, and then the ability to keep a pace going by suspending her to either promote or hatch. Very, very important for a lot of green decks. This one more so because there are some slower plays and just the extra resource draws helps. And then 2 of the Taiga from BT11. This you could probably play at 3 and mess around with different numbers and everything. I like the Taiga at 2. It gives 1000 DP to all of your Digimon, and you can suspend it to reduce the Digivolution cost by 1 when going into a level 5 or higher. Still a great card to have at 3 though. I just prefer it at 2 because, you know, space is space. Then 3 of the BT2 Taiga gives all of your Tyrannomon piercing. And then when you would evolve into a Tyrannomon, or dinosaur. Reduce it by 1 by suspending. So, one of the pretty much your bread and butter tamer, since it gives you the piercing that you need to keep control of the board, but also progress the game. Alright, going into the options then now. Pretty much just the ones that were guaranteed. Just what numbers were they getting played at? So 3 green numbers for agility training. The memory is important, the reduction is important. So even playing 4-4 is entirely viable. This is going to find options and tamers, this is going to find Digimon, and they each fulfill their purpose, and they're probably the most important cards in the deck. And then the fun card, Dimension Scissor, like I mentioned earlier. The 3-cost option out of BT1. It just says main one of your opponent, or one of your Digimon gains the following effect for the turn when this Digimon completes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives unsuspended. And then security added to hand. So, kind of straightforward. You know, you get your Tyrannomons with piercing, better, bigger numbers, and everything else. Maybe you suspend down the entire board because you did an ace and you have enough to go into the Dimension Scissor. Like I said, maybe you Dimension Scissored at 2 after building your board. Over the 1, you've got the Kokula, you swing into something with a Tyranno and the turn inheritable. Survive the battle, survive the security checks via the piercing, unsuspend, and just start going to town on your opponent's board. That's really how the deck wants to function, how it wants to end the game. It's just controlling the board and then Dimension Scissor. But let's see how well it can actually get there though in the shuffle. Let's get into the shuffling portion real quick. Roll 14, opponent will roll, in this instance, a 4. So we're going to be on the play, which is probably really good for a deck like this. Extra memory can be really good, can be really helpful, but being able to set up with your pieces is really important with how memory intensive this deck can be. It's an incredibly fun deck, but it's not going to be like a meta-defining deck. If you can set up against some meta decks, it can be really good. Obviously, like we discussed in the profile, but Alright, so hand 1, no mulligan. Palmon, RustTyrannomon, Taiga, RustTyrannomon, Togemon. There is a Taiga there, so at least there's that. Not necessarily the best hand though. Getting 2 different RustTyrannomons is cool, but yeah. So, as always though, we keep these hands to show what they look like if they were kept, and then do the mulligan. So we would be on the play. Hatch our Pinamon. From Pinamon, obviously evolve into that Palmon, hit a Palmon, and then just pass the 2 going to the Togemon. In a case like this, with Taiga already in hand, I think I would rather have that security. Let's just say we get past the like, or get past the 1, you know, opponent mem boost or something. So we draw, agility training's pretty good. Model. So we're going to get to play a tamer now for a reduced cost of 3. We'll go ahead and play that Taiga by suspending the Toga. And then agility training our opponent over to 1. Flipping Mimi, flipping Rusty, or not Rusty, Metal. Take the Metal because we really need it. Mimi would be nice as an end setter and an additional tamer. Let's say opponent does their thing, but they don't actually kill our stack. We get passed over to 2. You know, they're setting up some. Got another Togemon. So we hatch Pina. Go into the Palmon. Palmon. Draw a Kokula. Now we got a couple different things we can do. We can go here, reduce the cost by 1. reduce the cost by 2, go into Metal Tyrannomon or 2. We could go into it for free as an option as well. Let's actually do that option just because you gotta keep proactive. So we go into it for free. Draw a card for Evolution, which was a Tyrannomon. You get to suspend something down. Can't unsuspend, so maybe that helps with maybe a 5 turn. Now it's a couple different choices from here. We can go into the BT2 RustTyrannomon, or it's geared, for the big swings, or we can go into the RustTyrannomon to essentially for the same cost. In this case, I think I'd rather go into this. Just kind of, actually, since we have that, it would be a cost of 3. Maybe that's enough, and green numbers is nice, but maybe that's enough to safely, have things going. Opponent's gonna take some checks this time. Let's say our stacks is fine, they check 3. They're cool this time to get past the 2. Unsuspend. Have the Palmon promote out, gives the suspension, which in this case would be good if I had a way to suspend it, because Dimension Scissors is really nice. Saucy. But most likely this will probably be, honestly, a scuffed game. The meta right now is incredibly fast, so you need to be a lot smarter, and with what I was showing, I was definitely not being. Let's get a quick pile shuffle. These three, this. Get our shuffling better. And hopefully we have a nicer hand with what would have been the mulligan. Because in all honesty, that hand probably could have been navigated and played better than what I just showcased, but it wouldn't have been a good hand. The security wasn't good either. And this deck is going to struggle against things that are going to go faster than it. So like War Greymon goes faster, Metal Garurumon goes faster, Fenrir can go faster, but if Fenrir goes too wide without going fast enough, this isn't too bad. Same with D-Brigade. Since you can potentially check through multiple Commandramons. Alright, so this time it would be Taiga, Toge, Rust, Tyranno, and then agility training. Rough start, but it's going to be like that sometimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're on the start, we hatch our egg and just immediately fire off that training. Tyranno training, take the training. So we're showing that, opponent does their thing, they take that 2, say we get past the 2 this time instead, draw another Rust for turn. I think in an instance like this, we're definitely wanting to dig for pieces as quickly as we can. We're going to take the Ace Rust this time. And then just have a clench cheeks and pray moment, give opponent 5, would use that on play to at least play out a Taiga. Alright, so opponent's got a lot of memory to work with. You know, let's say we get past the 2, they're set up to do a whole lot next turn. Well, we got a Dimension Scissors, that's cool, but unfortunately, like I was showcasing with this deck, in the prior hand as well as just how it is itself, a lot of the pieces and things you want aren't necessarily going to come to you. But yeah, so we have a hand like this, we got really nothing we can do except just play a Togemon past the 2, assuming they got like a Mem Setter, and just kind of pray. Let's say that, you know, they check security, cool, there's an Agility Training. There's a Taiga, we got 2 Taigas, there's a Togemon. We get past with our board state as it is still. Yeah, we'll say 2 again. Yeah. And, like I said, unfortunate. But, let's do one more test shuffle. I feel like these hands just aren't showcasing what the deck is actually capable of. And like I said, I probably just misplayed that first one. But bricks are going to happen, especially with one that has lower consistency. It's very memory intensive, and your only real option for digging for cards is your Agility Training and Mem Boost through just that or evolution draws. Alright, so let's say this was the mulligan instead. Oh, that's a whole lot better. Still missing some pieces, but it can still get there. 3, 4, and 5. Alright, so we hatch our egg, and this time we actually have the Kokua to go into, which is good one to gain memory, draw a card, Kunamon. In a case like this, I think I'm fine, especially going first, you know, playing that Kunamon, get the suspend, flip 3, take any green card, and now we're actually starting to find pieces. We do need memory, we do need several things. Take the green Mem Boost. Yeah, friend does her thing, so they pass the 2. Draw for turn. We got no real reason to push out, so just swing the Kunamon in. It's gonna give away. So let's start setting up. We're gonna pass our opponent to 3 again. This time we're gonna do it by Agility Training, which I got a feeling I know what's going to happen next. So there's the Agility Training, there's the green Memory Boost, and yep, there's the Taiga that would be a great hit to take. We've already got a Rust in hand. We get a champion hand. Take the Palmon in this instance. Target to top. My opponent's gonna do their thing. They check. That might actually end of the turn. Say we get past the 2 again. They set up some more. Got the Agility Training. Still some stuff we can try and dig for and find. In Agility Training again, we're just going to repeat the process unless we hit something. We'll take the Tyranno again. And then the green Mem Boost. Always. Even worse this time. So that pretty much means that all of the Taigas are at the bottom now. Definitely how it'd be. it's gonna do some checks. There's a Lilymon, there's a Quartzmon that probably ended the turn again. Say they do their thing, we go to 2. At this point we just gotta try and go for it, because there's not a whole lot we can do. And by it, I don't necessarily know what that is. So we'll crack an agility training, and then for 1, go into Tyrannomon, draw a card. Go Tamer. Unfortunate. But we did hit the level 5, so we'll crack both the greens. Go up to 5. Crack the agility. Go back down to 3. Draw. Not hitting a Rust Ace really hurts. This is probably the moment where I say, yeah, let's adjust those ratios of the Rust Ace up, and absolutely I would. Because with a hand like this, it's not so great. Because we don't have the reduction cost at all. We just have the ability to put opponents to 2, have a, oh, there's the Rust Ace, that's always how it works, right? Have a very vulnerable stack, and then it showcased a little bit more, but, you know, it still kind of fell flat. Bandai, please, give Tyranno more and better support. It needs it. As one of your oldest Digimon, actually the first Digimon, and the original mascot showed Tyranno some more love. Without it being, like, ridiculously costed. One final test shuffle, because it's a Mimi deck, it's a fan favorite, and it deserves hopefully something better than what I've been showcasing. 2, 3, 4, 5, like, that's not the worst. Again, we're the 1 at 1. Match the Pinamon. I'm just being in a really awkward position. I guess evolve into the Pomo. In a Mimi at least. So at least there's that. And then play the Kuna again. 2 and 3. Yeah, I'm taking the Taiga for sure this time. Now it's looking better. Opponent gets to do their thing. Let's say we'll go to 2. Then we'll draw. Got a Togemon. Which that actually works out really good. So we'll promote out now. Swing his security. Say he probably dies. We'll go into the Togemon for 2. Draw a card. And then we'll suspend that Togemon to play Mimi for 1. So now we got our mem setter. We got to do a little bit of memory choking. So, you know. It's a very vulnerable stack though, so let's just say they just run it over, because why wouldn't they? They do whatever and then we get the 3. Like they play a training of their own. Alright, so we've got, again, 2 different aces, or Rust in hand. We hatch our egg, we evolve into the Palmon. Palmon's going to draw into a Kokua. Then we'll just probably just play the Taiga. And then pass them to 3 this time, going into a Tyrannomon, draw a card, hit the other Taiga. You know, they're gonna do their thing. Let's say they check 2 this time. We get to go over to 3, draw Taiga again. Now we're getting Taiga for days. But now the problem comes, what do we do with this? So we pour it out. So we get the Master Tyrannomon to go into. We use Taiga to do it, Palmon, and itself, with its start of name. So we reduce the evolution by 1, reduce the evolution by 2, reduce the evolution by 3. So go into Master Tyranno for 1. Draw a card. Hey, there's an agility train. That's nice to see. We'll use that money to hatch an egg now, since we have a level 5 or higher. Evolve. Start getting another stack ready to go just in case. So don't have the ace still. Have some different options and things that can be done. For example, you can play the other Taiga, go to 3 memory, and then be able to Rust 8, or go into Rust for 2. Could go into that Rust for 3, as it currently is, and attack. Actually, no, it would be less than that. Could be 1, 2, and then this still has that effect, so a Rust for 2. And then you got the Rust that can swing into things if you have the Ring Tamer, which honestly, kind of right now, we've got the Piercing Taiga out. We have Security Attack plus the ability to attack unsuspended. The only thing that's really missing is like the Dimension Scissors for the full combo, so we'll do it this way. We'll go probably take the Quartz because it's still a Quartz. We still have the end of turn attack as well. Having that reduction, so going into for 3. And so that Tyranno, draw a card. We have the Dimension Scissors now too, which is going to let us now trigger the end of turn effect of the Tyranno Inheritable, swing into something at 11, 12. Since we got Green Tamers, we can swing into Suspended, so we'll swing into something low, trigger, draw a card. And if there's nothing big enough in security to deal with it, we're swinging with Piercing, 2 checks. This is pretty good state to be in right now. Say you just put our opponent on the back foot, now they've got to build a little bit, go 3, draw. Let's say that if they had enough out, we're in a really good spot. So we promote out. We got all these effects and everything we can do now. We can go into a Tyrannomon for free via here to play out another Taiga, and that's honestly probably his agility training, using the Taiga, going to a Tyranno for free, draw a card, that Tyranno on Digivolve will play a Taiga that is going to give the 1000 DP. The only thing is we don't have another level 5 we can go into, but we're sitting at that net positive still. And if, like I said, opponent had too many Digimon, we get to go Dimension Scissors now and just start swinging and unsuspending into all of their stuff until this is either gone or we can win the game. Because if there's enough unsuspended or even enough suspended, you're just clearing everyone with Piercing at 2 checks. It won't take long to finish the game up, but took a couple of hands to get there. But that is the deck. It's fun, it can do its thing. It needs some more support and some more love from Bandai. But if you like the video, please leave a like. If you dislike it, leave a dislike. Leave a comment where I can improve, anything like that. If you want to come hang out with us over on Twitch, we're aiming for this year to be a great year, a bigger year for growth and everything for the channel, both the YouTube and the Twitch side. So thank you for staying around this long, because I know this was a little bit of a bigger one with how many times I had to shuffle just to show what the deck can potentially do and how often it can break. But have a good new year. Take care.